All right, so we should be live here in a few seconds. Double check here. We'll get this bad boy shared out here. And it looks like we are live, Bob.
All
So,
right, Adam.
what's going on in the world today, guys? Welcome. What's up, Facebook? Let's end up on YouTube. What's going on, Bob? Do you have good Christmas, good holidays?
Great Christmas.
I love it. I love it. So I'm excited, man. You're an independent out of New York, launching with us here at eXp. I'm going to spend some time, sharing this link in a few of our private groups and other groups. I'm pretty excited to be able to work with you. You've kind of got to watch me grow up in this industry, if you will. I know I've been able to talk to you a lot off and on over the years, so I'm pretty excited. I know you've been in the business a long time. You're a veteran for sure. You've been with KW. You've been with White Chart franchise. And then you've recently gone independent. Tell us a little bit about your story and why you went to being an independent and then came back and locked arms with us here at eXp. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Well, starts in 1986.
86. I was
1986.
4 years old when you got in the business.
4 years old. I know. I worked for Getty Petroleum. I leased gas stations and
Yeah.
created sites that are now these big convenience store sites you see today. And then, as with any company, you're there long enough and things change, and then they tell you they don't need you anymore. So I've been gainfully unemployed for many years now,
Mhm.
and got my real estate license around 2006, and went to KW. Then was there for 4 or 5 years. Then started independent and was trying to recruit agents. Had a hard time doing that because agents obviously want what franchises have to offer. So researched franchises all over the country, and I
Mhm.
actually came across EXP, but didn't quite get what they were doing with the virtual reality thing. And I was like, geez, these guys seem like they're 30 years ahead of their time. So bought the Weichert franchise, and then time was up with that, and was still thinking about EXP because you had spoken to me off and on, and met you at a Boomtown convention years ago.
Yeah, I mean, what year was that?
I
That
think it was like 12 or 13. I don't know. I just remember there was four of us on the stage, you, me, Gerbic, and Jeff from Nebraska, and you. We
Jeff.
all sat on the stage, and you jumped off and you grabbed the projector and started doing spreadsheets. And
That was like 2012. The
yeah,
monitor quit working in front of me,
that's right. That's
and
right.
I mean, I'd only been in real estate like 2 years at that time, and was building that call center. And I brought all them stats of how we were building it and
Yep.
running a predictable business, setting qualified listing appointments and buyer appointments. And I never had been in front of 500 people like that before. And so the
Yeah,
monitor went out. So I just did what I had to do. So that's awesome. You remember that.
you were a little excited. I remember later on that night we were out having drinks, and I says to Gerbic, "Where'd you get this guy from?"
Yeah, right. Yeah. I like it. So you did the franchise model. How long did you do that for?
About 5 years.
5 years?
Um, then I was thinking about EXP, but I needed a place to put all the agents, so I started another little independent.
Mhm.
Then I got back to you and said, "Okay, tell me about this." And you're telling me about all the benefits of it, and I'm thinking like franchise fees, are like 25, 30, $50,000. I'm like, okay, how much is this? You go $149. I'm like, what?
Right, right,
$149? Are you kidding me?
right.
Um, so I'm excited to get going with EXP. I
Mhm,
think 2020 is going to be the best year I've had in many years.
mhm.
Um, and I firmly believe any agent that's doing any amount of business at all needs to be with this company because
Right,
it is the wave of the future.
right.
It's almost like 2006 when Netflix was out there and we all had the Blockbuster card and we're rewinding VCR tapes. I mean, who has a VCR anymore?
Right.
I was in a house the other day that had like 50 of those things on the floor. I'm like, what are you supposed to do with these? Um,
Well,
so
I mean, for me, like me doing this live today, I'm really just getting back to work. I've been off work for about a month. And I really don't even get back to really working until after my birthday next week. My birthday, I turned 38 on Saturday. And I pushed hard in this industry for like 10 years, and I would never been able to take like a month off with a big thriving organization like I have now inside of eXp. When I pivoted to eXp, yeah, we were 11th in the nation, when I came here, but I could never be gone for a long period of time without the place burning down, without like tons of drama with agents making decisions, right? Like, all of that stuff. So it really just, so it really is just, fueling this lifestyle through this cloud to be able to collaborate and triangulate with other leaders. And, I know you touched on like the benefits that you and I had talked about, but help like outline maybe some problems like you were facing inside of your franchise or as an independent like us, and maybe that your agents in the industry is facing overall.
Well, when my organization, I mean, as you said, you can take a month off because you're the engine that drives the machine.
Right.
I don't care how big your organization is or how small it is. If you've got more than yourself, you are the engine. And, as I tried to explain to agents, with this model, what do you do if you're the engine that drives the machine and your revenue is based solely on you? What do you do if you get sick?
Right.
Your engine stops,
right?
And you have no income. Where you took a month off, and I'll bet you're probably making more money today than you were a month ago, right?
Probably, yeah.
Probably, because your organization as a whole grew, and you've probably got people in your organization that you've never even met.
Right. Well, I used to sweat the numbers every day. I used to sweat them every week. Now I don't even. I mean, I just looked at them for the first time in like 3 weeks, like because I enjoyed my time off. I went to Disneyland with my 5-year-old boy for his birthday and Christmas, and then came back and just, really strategically outlining what's going to happen the first quarter of the year and not really working, like what we call work, and just enjoyed some time off. And I did check the numbers, and they are pretty astronomical for not working still, because we're no longer trading time for money. And, I've been building businesses and doing this stuff for about 7 years, not inside of eXp's ecosystem, but I will tell you, this ecosystem makes it a hell of a lot more exciting and more profitable. That's for sure.
Well, there's multiple sources of income here.
Right.
Whereas, when you're a real estate agent, whether you're an independent or brand X, you have one source of income, and it is what you generate. Most companies don't provide you opportunities, meaning leads. So you have to be a lead generator, a lead converter, or a nurturer. And you're out showing homes and doing listing presentations, and you're hoping deals stay together. And sometimes they don't, as every agent experiences.
Right.
Where with this company, you have all of that, and they provide you with tools where when you're an independent, you're buying all these things. You're spending money on them. Here, for a small fee, you've got a lead generation website. You've got all the tools that you need to get going. You don't have to go buy all these things. So you're saving money there. I mean, I remember I asked you, why would I do this? And you said, well, you won't be the broker anymore. I'm like, well, I like being the broker. And you're like, wow, that's your ego talking. You don't put any money in your pocket, and you're 100% right. I couldn't wait to close that office because what do I need it for?
Right.
I can, if I have a client that I want to meet, I can do a Zoom call with them, or I can meet them at Starbucks. In our area, there's a bank where I do my banking, Berkshire Bank. Every one of their branches has a conference room, and most of them have after hours access to it. So if I have a meeting with my team, I just call up the branch manager. Hey, Jamie, can I use the conference room Saturday? And I just got to be there before she leaves so she can lock me in. And then there's a get out door to go to the parking lot. So when we're done, just turn the lights off and leave. So what do I need that office for? Most agents don't go into their office. I've been talking to a few agents. One guy said to me, oh, but I like going to that office because I get to talk with the high producing agents. I'm like, you can see the agents that are in my upline from Adam on up. Those are some of the best agents in the world. Do you have that at your office? I mean, and I tell them your story. Adam had the 11th highest ranked team in the country.
When I
You know,
pivoted to EXP, yeah, that's what I sold my ownership piece in. Yeah.
1,300 units a year. Is there anybody in your office doing 1,300 units? And what'd you have, like 20 agents on your team? Something
25,
like
25.
25 agents and
Right.
half a dozen ISAs and
5.
five. That's a very small organization. And what's that unit per agent? Is there anybody in your office doing that kind of number? And they don't. And they're like, oh, that can't be real. I'm like, it's proven. Look it up. Google them.
Right. Yeah. The Wall Street Journal doesn't lie. Numbers don't
Right,
lie. Right?
right.
So yeah, but everybody's got an opinion, right? But so it kind of you touched on like some of the office space, and so I'm always interested. It's always what I ask on this live, like. Did you keep your office? And you kind of sound like you didn't keep your office. I know a lot of the high power teams or whatever kept them to use as a nest, but you're going to go all in, it sounds, on the virtual model or leveraging some co-marketing space or
Right.
whatever. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Exactly. There's, I mean, I know some of them, Mike over in Massachusetts, who you just brought on, he's keeping his space. He was a KW agent. And hey, Jasmine. I get it. And I actually considered that for a while. But then after I got thinking about it, agents don't really use the space. And, there's plenty of spaces like the Regis. We don't have that in our area, but there's other places just like it.
Right.
An agent wants a small office so he can work, because some people, I get it, can't focus in their house. I don't have that problem. It's I'm in my house right now. My daughter was here helping me for a little while. She just left to go hang out with her friends. It's a personal preference. And I just felt, the cloud is the way of the future. With an iPhone, you can do your business anywhere. You can be in Starbucks, you can be in that, like I said, in Berkshire Bank, wherever. Really doesn't matter.
No, I mean, yeah. I think it's interesting. I think if you're going to develop brand new agents, like, we've done over a decade to be able to, take somebody from a zero, brand new, getting their license, and turn them into this hero, this rock star agent in a team model, doing 40, 50 deals within a year, 2 years. It's going to need to be a lot of collaborative space and stuff like that. But the way you and I are building businesses, and the ideal person I'm now attracting and helping, develop and build with, they're much more advanced. So like, we can do it through the cloud. We can do it through using technology and stuff like that. And so the teams that are going to take on new agents and develop them in the nest to be able to feed the network, I do believe in the brick and mortar stuff. I'm standing in, the brick and mortar here in Wichita. I haven't been in this place in weeks, and I'll work a little bit until the springtime, and then run the rest of my business from the lake house, right? And just stay in high leverage situations all through the cloud or through our technology for sure. So, I like that you're going to embrace the cloud, go all in with it. How some of the agents or team members, been adjusting to it, because I know you've been live in the system for a couple of weeks trying to figure everything out as like we're announcing you today. But like, you text me over the holidays or right before going into the holidays, and you're like, man, I love like EXP. Like, so how is it kind of translating, with the agents, with the cloud as well, with the move from the office?
Well, some of the experienced agents like Pete Melito came on board. He's loving it. It's a perfect system for him. He's like a $4 or $5 million agent, and he'll probably increase his volume here. So a couple of the other agents have come on board as team members, and we're going to have a meeting coming up. I just got to reserve the space at Berkshire to bring them all in together. And I'm going to, they've got a TV. I can connect my laptop. I'm going to show them how to use SkySlope and how to get their conversion site up and running. So that to me is the way to go. I get it. Agents who are still recruiting, bringing in newer agents or less experienced agents, maybe they need that brick and mortar where they can sit down side by side with them. But, I'm looking for agents that are already doing business and don't want to have their hand held, just want to make money. And this is where you do it. This is where you make money.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
there's several ways to make money here. Stock. I mean, I haven't looked at the stock in a while, but the last time I looked, it was almost 12.
Working
And
out.
it would come out at 8 cents a share or something like that.
I don't know. I'll look it up now. It's 11.63 right now.
Yeah. So it's closing in on $12 a share. Um, it's a valuable asset right there. The revenue share, not profit share. I know a lot of agents go, oh, well, somebody else has a profit share program. Yeah, well, the profit is what's left after all the bills are paid. Revenue is what comes in the front door.
Right.
Huge difference there. Huge difference. As you've shown me yours. You've only been doing this about a year and a half now.
This January 10th is when I launched from a mastermind down in Mexico. It'll be my 2-year mark on that date, but I took 6 months off
Right.
from working. And I mean, our team is right at 600 agents, and I'm running the most profitable that I've ever ran. I'm not carrying any debt, no overhead.
Right.
I'm cash flowing the largest percentage that I ever have. And I feel like I'm really just dialing this model in and figuring it out for myself to be able to help others. Now I got a team of 600, got this, learned a lot of lessons. And right at my 2-year mark, now I'm really going to be able to blaze that next trail for, some of these newer teams coming in versus just fumbling it, through it, together. Like I feel like most of us have the last couple of years.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited with this model. This is the best thing I've seen in a long, long time. And agents who are not open-minded enough to embrace it, I think, are making a huge mistake. Huge mistake.
Right.
So
for the average agent, because you touched on like you're looking for, producers are going to really embrace the virtual team, and we got a lot of cool stuff coming that we'll be working on to support these virtual teams, from marketing services to basically taking the principles that we did with a smaller traditional team and applying that in a macro way in a virtual world to the masses, with the modern team, if you will. And so but for the average agent, how does eXp really impact their business? I mean, are you looking at it with them in terms of like cutting cost, or are you looking at it in terms of opportunity? Because I think people look at it a little bit differently.
I believe it does both for them.
Right.
There's most of these companies, they're paying desk fees and franchise fees. No franchise fee here. It's not a franchise. Brand. And that's something a little hard for people to grasp, I think. I had the same problem, and you were explaining to me, no, it's not a franchise, but it looks like a franchise, but it's not. It's a brand. And we've all grown up with it's either an independent or a franchise. Well, this is the third option now, the way I see it.
Right.
And that was a little difficult to embrace. And then the virtual campus, where you have the little video game player that's yourself. Well, at first,
avatar.
Pardon me?
The avatar.
Yeah, the avatar. You ever notice all those avatars are skinny? But when that was one of the first thing I saw, even before I bought the Weckert franchise, and I was like, I don't really get this, So, but once you use it and you move around the campus a little bit, and then you figure out how to navigate the thing, it really is extremely helpful. I've gone in and to tech services, and almost like the Jetsons, light speed right into tech services. You just raise your hand, and then the next thing you know, somebody has got their hand around your collar and they pull you into a seat, and they're explaining to you. You tell them what your problem is, and they're taking you out. And then you're out of it.
So that kind of ties in. Like, how do you feel like the people you're getting in financial alignment with? You kind of touched on, the network, the uplines, and then also inside the cloud, with all the training and, all of the staff members that support your business. How do you really feel like this is the best model to sell homes in? I mean, when I told you I just checked out our numbers, like, I don't know, like what over a 3-week period where I never checked them, we have like over 250 houses sold in like a 3-week period, and that I'm actually being paid on right? And it was actually more than that because we have hundreds of people capped in our system. But like, so I know we're selling houses, but like, so how do you really, view, like, how are you going to be able to sell more houses inside of the cloud with you and your agents?
Well, we're going to be able to sell more houses because or me personally, because I don't have that responsibility of running the brokerage on a day-to-day basis, and worrying about the bills and the overhead and the payroll
All the
and
liability.
all the liability. I used to joke and say I'm the broker. I'm broker than all the rest of them, and if there's any money left at the end of the month, I get paid too.
I mean, so yeah, so being able to like get more into a position where you can actually focus on dollar producing activities. And,
Correct.
we're getting the ego stuff off your plate. Like, you were almost offended when I told you, like, you're just holding on to that
You're
job
right.
title
You're
a little bit because you think it's important because, broker top down ram model. I'm like, but look how much you're being paid to, grade paperwork versus if I could show you how to be paid over here to like build your business bigger, add more value, and be a little more explosive. So I like that you're getting the liability stuff off of your plate and you're letting it go, so you can stay focused on what matters, which is IPAs,
Yeah.
income.
Wednesday, the power goes off in that place, and we're totally out of it.
All right, I like it. I like it. Okay. You've been a team leader for a long time. You've owned franchises. You definitely know me for a long time. How do you see, eXp being able to help you with like the attraction piece and then the retention piece?
Well, the attraction piece, the biggest thing is the agent that is seeing it
Mm-hmm.
has to be open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, I've spoken to a few, and
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten all kinds of different excuses. And I say, well, one said to me, well, my broker said that brand will never last. I said, do you know what that is? That's
Mm-hmm.
damage control by
Right.
your broker, because he's seen it, he knows what it is, and doesn't want you to understand what it is because
Right.
he'll leave you, right?
Right.
That's a fear every broker has every single day. I experienced it. I had a brand come in and, got some of my agents off to the side and was like, well, what's your split? We'll give you a better split.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I mean, with this company, with that Icon Award, if you're a producer, they're basically giving you all the money, right?
Hey, man, if you can use eXp to get you a better deal from your brokerage, like if that's
Go
like,
for it.
they're eventually going to run out of 100% and go broke
Right.
themselves. This is a 100% plus model. Like,
Yeah.
and like Gene Frederick says it the best. He's got the best quote. When I was in Puerto Rico hanging out with him and, up there working and just running my business, is like, I'm going through a rainforest or something with this guy and we're climbing up a hill and, talking about some of these things. And, he's like, would you go to a Ford dealership and ask them about a Tesla that you're wanting to buy? They're probably going to knock the Tesla. They're probably going to downplay it and then try to sell you a what?
Afford.
A Ford. Like, this is common sense, people. So if you want information about a Tesla, don't go to a Ford dealership. That's
Correct.
all I'm saying. Like, it's brilliant.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah. So, all right. So I've been an independent. I attract a lot of independents, got a lot of independents and financial alignment with us. Obviously, what I was my whole career before we pivoted to eXp. Why would an independent, in your mind, consider eXp, or what was like the thing that was like, I get it. Obviously, the liability, sound like you cut some costs, greater opportunity. People join for different reasons. I just like to understand like why you as an independent and why now, and then where you think the other play is for other independents.
Well, independent owners, my concern was the loss of the company dollar.
All right.
But you're like, Bob, you're not losing company dollar. You're going to create a team. It's basically your brokerage. It's going to be your team.
Right.
And so you didn't lose your company dollar. Whatever you're splitting with them, you split the same. They pay a little off the top. That there's they can get a reduced cap, or you can run a model where they got a full cap. There's many different options for you. So once I was like, yeah, I didn't even think of that. But my idea of the team is you want to develop these team members into who go off and become full cap agents on their own, and then they can develop their team.
Right.
And the team thing is promoted throughout the industry with all types of brands. And I've always said, most of the teams don't really work because the people creating the team don't have a value proposition. They're not providing anything. It's like, oh, well, you can sit in my open houses, but all those leads that come in, you got to give those to me. That's not going to work. The person's that's basically an indentured servant.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like, Bob and Adam team up, and we're the Bob and Adam team. Well, the minute one of us sells more houses than the other one, that person's going to have their nose bent out of joint. So that's not going to work. That's going to be like a marriage that breaks down, right? Well, a lot of us have experienced that. Where this is, the coaching and training that, just with what you're offering, and then the eXp coaching that's online in the virtual world. What is there, like 25, 30 classes, live classes a day? You couldn't take them all. When I was at a brand, we'd have classes and we'd have a class schedule and nobody'd show up, or the person that was teaching the class got called out on a listing appointment, so the class got canceled. There's not, what I'm talking about.
Right.
You laugh because you've probably seen it. So that an agent who is, that middle tiered agent, he can develop his business through just the coaching and training that's offered. And then the lead generation, the KV Core system that's out there, that's one of the top lead generators in the industry.
Yeah.
And they're basically getting it for free.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's all wrapped in one, man. Glenn Sanford is a pretty smart guy, man. So when I think about independence and why I pivoted, many different reasons why I joined, but modern team building, from 2012, 2017, we were ranked 9th to 12th in the nation. One of those spots with a traditional team. I did that for 5-6 years running, like capped. And I was like, something has to change. If you're going to keep growing, you're not going to grow through profitability. You're going to grow through units, ego, expansion. And you're going to deal with all this headaches and all this stuff. And it's still not fueling the lifestyle through the profitability of why you started building the team anyways, was to be able to create more leverage and freedom, And so being able to step back and relook at this and now the quality of people that I get to work with every day in terms of this modern team is phenomenal. So I'm blessed that you chose to be able to partner with us and lock arms with us inside of eXp. Looking forward to helping you guys, build out that New York area. And I'm excited. And
we got to get you up here.
I've been off. I mean, you're talking about coaching and stuff like that. I think if you're going to build teams, like coaching, training, developing of systems, people, processes, staying a student yourself to be able to come back and rinse and repeat all that stuff is necessary, right? And so I've been off for 3 weeks. I actually been off for like 4 or 5 weeks in terms of being live, Zooms, presenting, any of this stuff. So going live, I was like, man, like I'm going to be rusty today. I haven't been on phone calls. I haven't been doing anything. And so I wanted to be able to launch you off and get it out there that you were going live with eXp, because I know you're making a public announcement today. For the guys and girls in our network, I'll start to be live on normal calls and stuff like that next week. But how can people get a hold of you, Bob? Like, I know like you're a calm hand. You've been in the game a long time. Like, how can people get in contact with you to maybe just learn a little bit more why you've done what you've did and go from there?
The fastest way to get me is text or call me on my cell, 518-588-3606.
Yep.
Or you can email me, bob.eberly@exprealty.com.
Yep.
Love to sit down and talk to you, have a cup of coffee. And, the last thing I just want to say is, a lot of agents are like, oh, my brand, that's me. Your brand is you. You are the brand.
Yeah.
Most people don't even remember. They barely remember the real estate agent. And if you went back to your past clients, well, what company was I with? And most agents have been with 3 or 4 companies in their career if they've been around long enough. And, it's the same thing is going to happen to you no matter what brand you are. Put more money in your pocket doing it. That's what we all got our license for, was to make money, right?
All right. Hey, I mean, people don't buy brands, people buy people. Place me in any company, place me anywhere on God's green earth, and I'm still gonna lead. I'm still gonna build. I'm still
Exactly.
be competitive. I'm just doing it with the best model on the planet, and my humble opinion for the way that I like to build businesses, for the light way I like to sell real estate and fuel my lifestyle. Cool. So shoot him a message, or I think, did you drop your phone number if people want to text you?
518-588-3606.
All right, cool guys. So I appreciate you hopping on here with me, Bob. You got
And looking forward to working with you this year.
you got a lot of experience, man, and so I'm looking forward to being able to help you, build out this exit strategy, execute in this virtual world that you're looking to take on with your modern team, and it's humbling to be able to work with people like yourself for sure. So, you guys have a good afternoon. Just do it.
Thanks. Talk to you.